Hey y'all, it's me, Niecy Lynn. I hope y'all are having a great Thursday. I'm going to jump on here real quick and get going. I've been waiting for my organic pest control guy to get here to do the yard and the house, and he hasn't, so he's gonna have to reschedule, I guess, because once I start this, I can't stop it because I don't know how to edit. So here we go. It is May 7th, like I said. We are early afternoon here. This is a channel about Flosstube. About cross stitch. Flosstube about cross stitch. I'm so rattled about having to ask my guy to reschedule, but I've been waiting all day, and I'm done with it. So I don't have the littles today, so I was going to have a nice quiet day of stitching all afternoon because I was going to do my Flosstube and then stitch, and not so much. So here we go. The first thing I want to do is thank y'all. I got so many birthday wishes and thoughts and notes and messages. It was so nice. And I even got some presents from y'all, which I was shocked to pieces. Wendy, which she probably say this wasn't a birthday present, but it was to me, sent these little Color Street nail strips, and the girls and I are going to use them. They love to do their fingernails, so we're going to put these on. So thank you, Wendy. She said her and her little girl weren't going to use them, so she sent them our way. So we certainly will. And I'm going to show y'all these. Look, they are still holding up great. And I planted seven drift rose bushes yesterday, and what else? Some other things. Anyway, moved some asparagus fern around and stuff. So, and I don't wear gardening gloves. I'm the worst. Karen Butner that I went to school with, she would say, her mama would always say, you can always tell a lady by her hands. Well, we know where I stand, okay? Yeah, well, So I'm horrible about, my husband always buy me garden gloves, and I don't ever wear them. His mama is very well put together, and always, like, she cooks with an apron. The first time I went over there at Thanksgiving, she looked like June Cleaver. She had like an apron and high heels on, and I mean, that's how she cooks a lot of times. So yeah, no, I'm not about that life. So, and I hope y'all can hear the wind is blowing a fury here today. So if the wind is roaring in the background, I hope I'm still talking loud enough. So then I got from my sweet friend Ann, and I'm not gonna say people's last names because I don't know if they want that on there, but she sent me this beautiful card she made and did the little watercolor on. It's beautiful. And then look at this beautiful bag. She sent me this gorgeous handmade bag. See, there's a little strap in there. Beautiful. And look, it's all crazy quilt. Now, we all know what a crazy quilt costs, so this is probably the closest I'm ever gonna get to having my own crazy quilt. So I was so ecstatic, and I haven't even let myself use it till I showed it to y'all, because sometimes I am kind of hard on things. So I am just over the moon and could not believe it when I opened that package up. And she did get to have her surgery and is recovering nicely. And then these two patterns, and I'm not sure if she said at one point that they were from her and Nikki, but I think I don't know if these are from her or her and Nikki, but she sent me this pattern, Patriotic House Trio, which I had already been thinking about purchasing. And you see I've cut the fabric for it here. I'm just gonna use tea-dyed Monaco on it. And I guess I'm gonna go on the Mania train and start with this, because she also sent me Betsy Ross, the Little House Needleworks Early Americans. It is so cute. And I had this little scrap of that blue with the tan on there that I had dyed, and I am going to stitch it. I'm changing up just a very few of the colors to make it a little bit brighter. So for me, I have to have like red in my, let me see if I can turn it where the blue will show. There it is. I have to have red in my patriotic. I'm just that person. So I am so excited about those. I just could not believe it that I got presents from y'all. I was like so ecstatic. That was so fun. So thank you again. I appreciate it so much. And then another nice comment about my lipstick. And so I thought I'd bring it in here. It is Wet n Wild Mega Slicks Balm stain. And it is in Rico Mauve, but this is what it looks like. And it's not expensive, but I told a couple while back I'm gonna make an ugly face, and y'all know this is the one that YouTube is gonna pick for my cover. I don't know, I'm gonna make a little thing on Instagram one day of all the funny faces that YouTube wants to pick for your cover photo. Y'all, it's horrifying. I laugh every time. My kids, I even send them to my kids, they're so funny. It's just unreal. But you're supposed to look at the color of the inside of your lips on the inside, and that's the kind of color that's supposed to look like most natural on your face. And so that's what I always try to do if I'm trying to look kind of natural, or, you know, not have like a red lip or something. So for what it's worth, but that's the one I use. Mary had asked about it, and I appreciated the kind comments because I love that lipstick. And like I said, it's not expensive. You can get it at like the, you know, drugstore or whatever. I did also want to mention my Buffy Tea, not because anybody's asked about it, but down here we're starting to open things back up, and I don't know that I think it's a great idea. But one of the things that they had mentioned early on was drinking hot liquids to keep your airways cleared from mucus and stuff. And we drink at my house what we call Buffy Tea. And Buffy Maria Favada is my friend who is genius and at everything she's ever done. And it is a very therapeutic tea. And you use one bag of chamomile, it does not matter what brand, and one of peppermint, it does not matter what brand. Just put it in your, like, you know, like your Yeti or big mug or whatever, and you can add a little honey in there if you want to. Your local honey, of course, will help with allergies. And put some lemon or orange in there for some citrus, a little bit of acid, and just then pour the hot water on it and put your lid on there and just sip on it. And you can even add hot water to it and keep on drinking on it. But especially if y'all are going to be getting out and about again, just try to be as safe as you can. You'll wash your hands, wear your mask, and drink hot. I thought that was something that a couple of things I saw had mentioned, but not everything. So try to drink hot liquids, and that's something that it's a go-to for our family is Buffy Tea. We drink it all the time, and even the littles love it. I'll put some in their little cup and, you know, put a little ice cube in there so it's not quite as hot, and they love it. And especially Aria Kyle thinks she's grown with her hot tea. Hot tea, she says her hot tea. So Renee said she had that she listens to audiobooks too, and there was some y'all that had never listened to one, and I was just shocked because I listen to audiobooks a lot. And when I worked at the lab, which I forgot to bring, this is gonna sound crazy, I forgot to bring a finger in here. In my previous life, I worked at a prosthetics lab, and I was a sculptor in a prosthetics lab. And so we made custom silicone covered prosthetics. So arms, legs, fingers, feet, ears, noses, no eyes because they require a surgical clean room, which we don't have there. And no, you know, junk. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's illegal in the state of Texas. So if we were somewhere else, I don't know if we would do that or not, but we don't do that here. So you have to get those in another state. But anyway, so we were in an old doctor's office, and we each sat in a separate room. And so, you know, you just sculpt away or paint away or whatever you did in a room by yourself. And so you'd put in your audiobook and just listen. So we got a lot of audiobook listening in because we just listened all day long while we worked. And that was very enjoyable. And that was just a great time to listen to audiobooks. The lab is kind of slow right now, and that's why, I don't know if I've ever told y'all, that's why I'm home right now. I just volunteered because I'm fortunate my husband makes a nice living. Now, let me tell you what, I'm not a gold digger because he didn't have a dime when I met him. Not one red cent, okay? His family, they have some kind of money, but they're real frugal. So it ain't like he had it, okay? But we were poor. But he has worked always, and he's a very hard worker and made a good living. So the other people, most of them, except for one, is younger than me. The owners and one lady are younger. than me and have young families and, you know, lots of different bills. So that's why I'm home right now. If things pick back up, I can always go right back to the lab. But if you if you remember the story, it was all about Lauren Scruggs Kennedy, and she got hit by the propeller and it cut off her arm and everything. She's married to one of the Kennedys now, and she's beautiful. But if you've seen her and things, and at her wedding and things, I sculpted her arm. So that is a little bit of background, but that's why I'm so into audiobooks, because I listen to them a lot then. Cassandra says there's a floss that's called swamp water. So I did not know that. And so I'm gonna have to look at that and get some of it, because I have tons of green floss. Obviously green is something I'm nuts about. Jen also said she reads Sleepy Hollow and A Christmas Carol every year, and which I was shocked. I thought I was probably the only weirdo in the world that did that. But the book is called The Man Who Invented Christmas. And I'm trying to think who it's by. I can't think who wrote it. I thought I had it written down there, but I don't. But it's very good. It's about Charles Dickens. It's a great read. Great read. I love it. Patricia Extension, Noah in the Garden. I've never seen that, Noah. It is super cute. And it is by Imaginating, Diane author. You can go look that up. It's so cute. A lot of y'all sent ideas for how to finish out fix my Tista season, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I'm getting ahead of myself here. When we're talking about babies, Catherine had her last baby in the truck. That's even faster than me, so Lord have mercy. Catherine, you're a queen and you need a parade. Vicky said Dolly Parton has free books, and I forgot to go look that up and give y'all the link, so I will try to find that and remember to put that on next time. Kathy talked about so many of us right now are watching TV instead of reading, and I think that's because we're so anxious and so wanting to know if there's anything new. Is anything better? Has anything been fixed? Have you got to fix or cure anything? So I think that's why a lot of us right now are watching TV instead of reading some, because that is so on our mind. I mean, I'm always a vivid dreamer, but I've been having strange dreams and people wearing masks and things like this. And the girls and I have talked about it several times. We had to make a little mask for them because they go out in Dallas County. They both have to have them on, they're over 2. So I made little masks for them. But they're disturbed by seeing the people with masks on when we drive somewhere. We're not going anywhere, but even when we drive or go through a drive-through, the people have on masks, and it's disconcerting. It's kind of scaring them. So I think a lot of us are kind of in that mindset that we want to see, have you found something? Can you fix this? Kind of thing. So I think that's why we're watching TV a lot. Holly had said, talking about a book, and I was thinking about a book with a quilt curse in it, and I'd read it a long time ago and I loved it. And I went and looked it up. It's called Stitches in Time by Barbara Michaels, and it's about stitching a curse or a blessing, whatever, into a quilt. This is about a curse actually, but it's a really good book by Barbara Michaels, who is also Elizabeth Peters. I don't know if you've ever read any of her stuff, Crocodile on the Sandbank or anything. She's an archaeologist from, I think, the University of Pennsylvania, but she's fascinating writer, and I love her. But all her Elizabeth Peters books and all her Barbara Michael book are really good. But that one is called Stitches in Time, and I love it. Diane lives close to Sleepy Hollow, New York, and she says they have all kind of events and things around Halloween. So I'm gonna have to try to get there, because y'all know I am a Halloween queen and I love Sleepy Hollow. So I'm gonna try to double down and get there someday to knock out 2 favorite things of mine at one time. Karen had asked about the Ada that I used for my Tista season, and I thought I had an extra bag of it. This is it. I've had it in my stash forever. Oh, Lord, it's upside down. It's just even weave, and it came from Hobby Lobby, 28 count. I'd bought 2 or 3 bags at a time, and then I use this. That's just and I just dunked it down in there, but I think that's why it looks a little more fleckety than usual, because it has the little brown spots in it that turn a darker, kind of a gray. So I wanted to show that was what I had used for that. And one of y'all, and I swear I wrote it down and I can't find it. One of y'all was interested in the Leslie Tier rabbit, the bunny I had showed that had the flowers and everything on it in the Just Cross Stitch magazine. Instead, if I decided to get shed of it, that y'all wanted that you take it. One of y'all sweet people has sent in that they're not going to use that magazine. So if y'all will, in the comments, let me know that y'all are the one that wanted it. There is one of our friends on here that has said she will get it to you. So y'all are the nicest things ever. I can't even believe how nice y'all are. The shops that y'all mentioned that are open and shipping right now, Shepherd's Bush in Little Rock and Stitcher's Garden in Conway. And I'm just trying to mention ones that I haven't mentioned in the past. So those were 2 new ones that I don't think I'd mentioned before on here. So now we're going to jump on in to the PDF website this time is Willow Hill Samplings. They have a site and you can go, and I'm going to go get the Land of the Free. That thing is gorgeous, Land of the Free because the Brave, and I've seen people stitch it before and I didn't know whose design it was. And then I saw it when I was looking for a PDF download site because some of y'all don't have access to an LNS and said that y'all use downloads a lot. So willowhillsamplings.net, they have some beautiful things, but I'm gonna go get that Land of the Free because I'm all into my patriotic stitch right now, which brings us to haul. I had ordered from Shelly at Just Stitching. Hi, Shelly. And she is so sweet. I'm nuts about her. And so she has, I had a list of things. So she felt sorry for me because I'm such a kook and sent me partial of it because I'd asked for several things. Summer ABCs by Little House Needleworks. And I had done, the spring one already. And I'm going to change a few things. The letters are all like brown over here, the very first ones. And I'm going to do those in blue. And then there will be more red than pink in here because for me, summer is red, white, and blue. That's how I decorate through the summer. So I'm gonna do red, white, and blue on here. So my letters will all be blue, and then I will change some of the ones that are pink in here to have a more red color because I do red, white, and blue in the summertime. She got me my next Welcome Summer, which Welcome Spring's right there. And it is so cute with the flag and all the fun stuff in here. I am nuts about it. And she sent me the Freedom is the blue. She couldn't get a hold of the original one, the original blue, and that they used for these letters. So she sent me this Freedom, and it is beautiful. I should have taken that out the wrapper. Sorry, y'all. But it is fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous. I love it. And then she had these, and I'd never seen them before. And I don't know, I can't show them, I don't think, without showing the things. But they come from if you go to Nashville Market, they have a little cookbook. And I love cookbooks. I love to read cookbooks and cook out of cookbooks. And so this is the 2019 and the 2020. And somebody, and I'm trying to sit here and remember who, was stitching a little squirrel. And I think it's in the 2021. But anyway, this is so cute. And I am so excited about that haul that I got because, yay. You can never have too much haul, I don't guess, especially not right now when you can't do nothing else. And then I got this in the mail. I haven't ordered one of these in like a coon's age. I sent them back because usually it's not anything I want to stitch. But I've been thinking about trying a full coverage, so I might try that one. But what's really got me is this. It's by Buffy Threads, but y'all know I love me some Halloween. And then these, I thought the little girls might love these. If I did one of them a fox and one of them a deer. And put it on a little pillow or something for them. But there's some Dorian Jones ones, it's beautiful. I mean, there really is some very nice ones in here. And I think it's like 20 bucks or something. I mean, it's like super affordable. I mean, you can't get a better price than that. I mean, let's be honest. For 13 patterns because you get the bonus one for December 2020 and then it goes all the way through to December 2021. So that is a really great buy. So if you're looking for a great buy, that is a really good buy. I think that's all my haul. Yes. So now on to whips. Okay. We're going to start with, as I'm shuffling around here, I thought I had everything in the good order. Nope. Okay, we're gonna start with 'Tis the Season. So here he is, and y'all had talked, you know, I was off. And so Vicky, Linda, Carrie, Audrey, there were several of y'all that sent in, Mandy, Diane was about stitching initials, sorry. About, some of y'all said finish out the star points taller where I messed them up, and then some of y'all said put my initials in. So I'm gonna do them both. I am gonna do them both. So, and this is that Ada that even weave. Boy, I'm all messed up today. I really need a drink. That I had dyed with this right here. Okay. So y'all had, I may have to stand up on here. Right here, let's see. And this one is kind of wonky, but I went ahead and just raised it up. And so now it's gonna be level, and then it has berries here, and then I'm gonna put my initials here. And I think the year is down on the bottom. The year's on the far end. So he's got a lot of progress going. He doesn't have far to go. So because I have the big star. So I'm right here. All this is done except for the words. And so all this is finished because I just don't have the words on the bottom. So I don't have much to go. So I am very thankful and very grateful for y'all giving those suggestions, because that has got him out of timeout and back in the rotation. And the colors on it, I had switched up a few. I think they're Patricia Geary's is where I got it, but especially mainly the red is the Turkish red. The colors in the picture are not as red. These are the berries, but I wanted my cardinal to be super duper red. And so that Turkish red is gorgeous. And I just love him in the Turkish red. But the called for color is a little more dull, or more, when I got mine, it was pinky looking, because it says for poison apple. And my poison apple wasn't super red like that. It was pinky looking. And cardinals, maybe they're not everywhere, but cardinals around here are like super, super red. And so I wanted mine to be super duper red too. So I'd switch those. But I think Patricia Geary, and she is a fabulous stitcher and a fabulous person. She runs the Fans of Blackbird Design on Facebook, and it's a great group. And she's very kind to keep track of all that and who's borrowing what and all. She's very precious. And so I don't know if she got the colorway from someone else or not, but I loved it and switched mine to that. Now we have their song. I got a little bit work on their song, and their song by Blackbirds, and it is just beautiful. I value my garden more for being full of blackbirds than of cherries, and very thankfully give them fruit for their songs. That's what you get for trying to read backward. But it is so, oh my gosh, this is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And so I did get a good start on it. I didn't have all the colors, I don't think, but that's what I pulled for it. And I am loving this stitch, just loving it. So I'm down to where I'm fixing to put the first little red berries on here, the rest of the leaves and the berries. So I'm about up to right there. And so I just stitched on it. I think one day I stitched on it and made a decent amount of progress. This is April Brown Bendy linen, but it is, it had been folded so long, and I just dabbed water on it when I was steaming it out, and I just dabbed some on my fingers. So it made it more spotty, which I think I even like more than before. So this one I'm just cuckoo over. It is just gorgeous. Y'all know I love me. And I'm evidently on Blackbirds all the time right now. I've got all the Blackbirds right now. Whips are all nearly Blackbirds. except for my lady's needle. May health and peace attend your days. It is so, so pretty. And I am super excited because I got over to that cool tree. I've been dying to get this tree right here. I love this tree, this like cedar tree. I don't know why, because cedar hates me, and that's why I got these big bags and everything else, but I love cedar tree. It just don't love me back. So the new are that lion, that moth, and then the start on the tree. And you have to get really close to see. There is just the most beautiful teal in their little wings right there, and you can't hardly see it unless you get like super close. But the color and the details in this are just so, so pretty. And you don't really notice it unless you get super close or you're looking at it with your eye. For some reason on the camera, it doesn't show up as good because this is like a beautiful cobalt blue, and I don't think it maybe is showing up like that. These kind of adult blues, they are just so, so pretty. And I'm loving, I'm having to use my hoop, and I didn't press it, sorry y'all. I'm having to use a hoop, and I'm making myself do it because this is just too pretty not to. So that's where we're at with that. And this is all the beautiful thread for it. And because I did not want tangle, and I do this sometimes, and y'all are all probably gonna be shocked, I just take and loop them over my little binder ring and cut the end thread and then pull it off. That way it's short threads. And because on linen like this, it's real fine and you can see the back, you cannot have a knot because it will show right through. You can't run your thread from thing to thing, and you can't have a knot because it'll show on the back. So I use a short thread if I'm using something that's fine. And so that's easy for me just to clip the bottom of this. I say skein, but I don't know, is it skein? Some of y'all can let me know, because I'm probably saying that completely wrong. That would be me. The other thing I am working on is this stocking out of Glorious June. You may can see it better on here. And it's, I don't know, it looks kind of like marigolds or something. What's the name of it? I think I wrote it down somewhere. Oh, it says honeysuckle vine is the name of that pattern, and it's all in yellows and greens. But y'all know I'm trying to get enough patriotic ones done, and I think after I finish this one, I'll have enough to do the tutorial on stockings, because y'all know I don't know how to stop or start or edit or anything. So I'm just gonna do one at each stage so I can show you this. So here is this guy, and he's not gonna look as pretty with this blue behind him, but this one I had to put a little bit of white in because I needed 4 colors, and I don't like white. That's something else y'all find out about me. I don't like white. I don't. My husband loves it. He thinks it looks clean and classy. I think it looks like company cars and cheap plastic shoes. That's just me. I don't like white. So I did have to have a little white because I looked at another red and it didn't do it. And then when I looked at adding another blue, then it was too much. It didn't look patriotic anymore. So I had to add the white in there. So, but it is just about done. So I'm super happy with that one. It's nearly finished. And then I think that's all my whips. Yes. And then this was my finish this week, is in Mayflowers, and it is, maybe it's called Mayflower. No, it's tulip border. So this is the way it is in the original colorway. It's this beautiful lavender on here and green. It's so pretty. But I wanted to do it. I got into this thing of doing ones that look kind of like quilts. And so here it is, done with the 2 colors of blue and a red. And it looks very patriotic. It's gonna look great on that tree. And I'm super happy about it. So there is that one out of Mayflowers. I don't know, they're just called the stocking books, I guess. But this one is in Mayflowers, and it's so cute. Love, love, love it. I love how you turned out. These two are both on 30 count portobello. Is what both of these are on. The first couple were on 30 count lamb's wool, I think, that I had. And before I do any more, I'm gonna have to get some more 30 count because I don't have no more. The other thing, that's my finish. The previous finish is, okay, y'all had talked about, y'all always put initials on things, and there was a couple of y'all that sent asking about putting initials on things and about using sulky thread. So we're gonna kill a couple of things at one time. So I'm gonna stand up right here and grab these so y'all can see up close. If I'm on Ada, I usually just backstitch on there, my initials. So there's that one, and it's probably gonna fall over now, y'all. And then here is, sit, boo boo, sit. There he is right there on there. And so I just usually, if I'm using Ada, I usually just backstitch because I usually don't have a very big space left to put my initials. So several of y'all had asked about it. I don't have a book or anything. I just kind of wing it. So sometimes I do small case. I don't know why. Sometimes I do all uppercase, but see, this is all on Ada. So here's a DW. You can make them a little blockier on the back side to add some weight to them. These are little wonky, crazy, cursive ones I just made up while I was sitting there. These are my sister's initials. So they're also here on Ada. And just, if you want it a little fancier, you can add a little more weight to it like this. But I promised one of y'all I would show sulky thread on Ada. And I didn't have, of course I didn't have Ada, anything that I'd stitched really on it yet that I could think of. So while I was doing this, this is 14 count Ada, and here is this gonna, see if I can get this to focus here. There is one thread of the sulky, that's one thread through on the 14 count Ada. And here is two threads over one on the 14 count Ada of the sulky. So you see that's a thick total full coverage. It slid through just fine. I didn't have a problem with it, but you get a good coverage even with the one thread. There is a little bit of show through, which I usually like. I don't know why, but it really is. I mean, it's so easy. That's what I do. You know, I'm doing all my stockings. All the little stockings, the patriotic stockings, are with my sulky threads. So if you did them on Ada, you would get, the coverage would be fine on the 14 count. And I have done one on 22 count, but I haven't done a stocking on anything bigger than that. But I think you would be pleased with the coverage on even just one single thread on the Ada. I think it looks great. So that being said, I think that was, is that everything? But you think things are gonna go one way, you think they're gonna go the other way, they end up turning back on you. Like me waiting for the pest man today. The girls aren't here, so I was gonna have a whole day of stitching, but I didn't start my video this morning because the last couple of times he's come like an hour too early. So I thought, well, he's 12:32, I'll be done by lunch and I can, yeah, well. But it made me think when Keely Wildman was little, and I'm gonna send you a message, Carolyn, and get you to watch this. Keely, his friend, little Gary, was an only child. And so his mama would all the time ask if Keely could go places with them, her and Big Gary and Little Gary, and go places. And of course, I trusted them implicitly. And of course, I always said yes. Anytime my kids got the opportunity to travel, I tried to let them do it. We never traveled when I was growing up at all. And so anytime, I was always thankful if someone asked my kids to go somewhere. Well, Little Gary and them were from Florida. And so they went back a couple times, and Keely got to go with them. And they were, I don't know, maybe 5th, 6th grade. And they had gone and come back, and he said, Mama, you know what I saw when we were there? And I thought, oh boy. And he said, I seen lady without her top on. And of course, I'm thinking a co-ed on the beach. You know, this is where my thought goes. It's a co-ed person on the beach, you know, like you. And he said, Mama. And now Keely has more of an accent than my other two kids, and he talks real slow. And he is my child that has no sense of urgency. He's steady as a boulder, and he goes at one speed. He said, Mama, her titties look like 2 pizza slices. I like to have died, because then I realized it must not have been a young co-ed that he had seen with no top on, just bottoms on. And I like to have died, because that image, I mean, you know, pizza slice titties, I was like, oh my gosh. And of course, now as I've aged, every time you look in the mirror, I'm like, pizza slice titties. Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. But yes, so I'm gonna tap you, Carolyn, and make sure you watch this so you can think about little Gary, because little Gary is with the angels now, and I got to see him one last time, just happenstance, and it was so nice. Whew, he was such a sweet friend for Keely, and like I said, that was Carolyn's only baby, so I don't know, she doesn't stitch, so she probably doesn't usually watch these, but I'm gonna paste it and send it to her to watch so she can think about that, because I never did think to ask her from her side if they said anything to her about what they had seen. But yeah, I hope when you look in the mirror you don't see pizza slice titties, because yeah, well, we all know. I like to, every time I think about that, I like to die. Kids are hilarious. But I'm going to show a little bit, all y'all have been showing such stash, and it's so cool. And so I have a little bit of patriotic stash, not much. This is pretty new, and it's one of these that come with the threads. I got it about a month ago, I think. It's Little House Needleworks Long May She Wave, and I can't wait to stitch it. And it came with all these pretty threads. And I think it was like, I don't know, $15 with all the threads or something, very affordable. And so I thought that was a great buy. So I have that, but now this is also in my patriotic stash. I have a couple of really old things that I need to stitch. And this one is beautiful. Of course, it's a Blackbirds, and it's Liberty House, and the light on there is not going to do it justice, but it is beautiful. It's got a couple of colors of blue in it, and then the alphabet at the bottom, and the oak trees. It's fabulous. So it is on my, maybe I'll get that stitched this summer, maybe not. These are out of magazines, and I thought they were beautiful, and this one is by Jan Alexander, and I've seen it stitched a couple of times. Glory, glory, God's truth is marching on, and then hallelujah at the bottom. And of course the glare on the shiny paper is terrible, but it's really, really pretty. I think it's mainly in weeks, or maybe all in weeks, but it is so, so pretty. So I would love to get it stitched this year. I'm sure I'm not going to get all my patriotic stitching done. This one is by Old Willa Stitchery, and I have had it, like I said, it's out of a magazine, and try to figure out how I can turn it. I love it. It says, but by the grace of God, go I, which I say all the time. But it is so, so, so cute with the flag and everything. So that, and I've got, I don't remember where I got this one, but it is so cute. Stars and Stripes, and it's Country Cottage Kids. And those little barbershop quartet boys is what I assume they are. But it is so dang cute, and I think that's not focusing really good. I have this one, and I like it, but I would have thought I'd have stitched it by now, but All Things Bright and Beautiful, which is very summery, but I consider it patriotic because the flag. Why can't I get that off? There we go. These overhead lights in the kitchen are over the bar or just something else. Now, I'm gonna save my favorite one for last. I have Be Brave by Shepherd's Bush, and I have it stitched somewhere. And I have Old Glory, Grand Old Flag, and it's also by Shepherd's Bush. It is so, so cute. Let me see if I can get the light off of it. And of course I can't. There we go, maybe. Maybe it'll go in between. And then, oh, those are not in color. I have Needle Bling's Spangled Glory, but it's not printed in color. It's beautiful. And so I need to stitch that one. But this one is the last one. I don't know why I've not stitched this yet. I've held on to it forever and I love it. And it is so beautiful. No man is free who is not master of himself, and he earns his freedom and existence who daily conquers them anew. It's by City Stitcher, Liberty Sampler, and it is so, so, so pretty. Why have I not stitched this? I don't know. I do not know, but that was the thing about y'all stash dives I have enjoyed so much, is seeing things that most of it I didn't know existed even. But I love this one. And I love so many of those, but hopefully I will get some more of these patriotic ones knocked out and get them out of the way, and I can pass them on to people. The Blackbird one, I don't always let go of my Blackbirds because sometimes I stitch them several times for people as presents and stuff. So I don't know that I will do that one. But I will say that when I looked today, I was shocked at how close to 3,000 subscribers I was. How grateful and how in awe. I can't believe it. But when I realized that, I started gathering up things to do for my, we'll do a big thing for my 3,000 subscriber giveaway. We'll do several things. And I know I have 2 Blackbirds, and which I don't think those 2 are hard to get. But I also have my primitive needle, my copy of the primitive needle pattern. Now it came out of a magazine, and so it didn't ever, I don't think it ever printed any other way. But the Halloween Revelry is one of my favorite things I ever stitched, and y'all know that I am a huge primitive needle fan, and those things are hard to get because of course there aren't anymore. But that Halloween Revelry will be one of them. I've already picked out 2 Blackbirds to share with y'all because I am so grateful and so thankful that so many of y'all come and visit with me and send me messages and things, and I enjoy it so much. And I don't know what I would do if I was stuck in right now and I didn't have y'all, because then I would just be here with the littles, and that's a great lot of fun, but they don't want to talk about stitching. Well, they're stitch cards. We stitch together, but it's not the same. My Sleepy Hollow sampler, which I forgot to bring in here, was my share for last week. I forgot to bring it in here to show y'all, but it's by Frosted Pumpkin, and I got it as a download. And so on those, I just buy it again and have them email it to y'all. It's as cheap as mailing it, 9 times out of 10. And then y'all can print it and get a really good copy, because my print copy might not be good enough for y'all to read. You know, you might not could see it, might be dark enough or things. So Edith McClanahan, you are the recipient of the Sleepy Hollow sampler. So if you will shoot me a message, and I need your email so I can call Frosted, well, I can probably email Frosted Pumpkin and get them to send you your Sleepy Hollow sampler, because that way they have another sale, and I'm sure you have a good copy, and it's as cheaper than me mailing one anyway. Our share this week, which I didn't go dig out because I'm lazy. It's in the box of my stitching up in the top of the closet in there. But it is Autumn, which I've already stitched, by the Cricket Collection. It worked up beautifully. I did it on maybe 16 count maybe vintage country mocha kind of a something-ish. I don't know if that was it or not, but it's that kind of a motley brown looking, tannish brown. But it is a beautiful piece. It is a quick stitch. All these I love, and I leave them out through the whole holiday. So this will be my share this week, and our word for will be cricket. You can tell me you hate crickets, you love crickets. I'm not a big fan of crickets. We call them Sallies, but I'm no big fan of the Sallies. But I hope y'all been able to hear me and that we haven't got blown away. I may try to carry y'all over to the window. Let's see here if I can carry y'all over to the window without us getting blown away over here. And I won't be able to tell what y'all are seeing really, but I'm gonna try to see if y'all can see how the trees and my plants are just whipping around like crazy town out there. It's nuts. The water and it's like insane out there. I hope y'all can see that, but anyway, I will see y'all in a couple of days. I think I have enough stockings finished after I finish this last one to do the tutorial on them. So I will probably get it up this weekend because I'll just do one at each stage. So I will see y'all then. Boy, I ran a little bit long today. Sorry, y'all. But y'all enjoy your stitching and I'll see you soon. Thanks.